Welcome into another episode of Cheat Code Weekly, where we discuss everything video game collecting and investing. I am, of course, Greg, joined here once again by Henry. And today, we are going to talk about Switch 2. I already don't have a lot of voice here. Like, I've been screaming about Switch 2. My God, is it amazing? I can't believe how good it is, Henry. I need to scream it
It's
from
the
the rooftops.
best
But we're not going to
Mario
talk
Kart
about
World.
if you should pay $80 for Mario Kart World. We're not going to talk about anything of $500 console. Is it worth even buying that? We're going to get right down into the speculation, the investing. Should you start now with Switch 2? Because I'm sure you saw Henry WATA Games posted on their Instagram or whatever, Facebook, you can already grade Switch 2 games. 9.8 A++ plus Mario Kart World is already graded. It's already in full swing. I assume VGA, I assume CGC will also accept them right now out the gate. So here we go. We saw what happened with Switch 1 launch titles, right? Breath of the Wild has already exploded. Other ones, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Mario Kart, any kind of those first print Switch 1 games have now become extremely valuable. The first print titles. That's a big differentiator. You have to always remember.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is still being sold in stores for Switch. The first print is what matters. First prints only. So with Switch 2 now, everything that's launched, of course, should be a first print. But Switch 2 launch here, you've seen it. You've seen it in Discord. People are returning their consoles. My buddy was able to walk into Costco and buy one. There was nothing. They were just sitting there. It's not sold out. Not nearly as hype, and it might be the controversy with the game prices, console price, the push towards key cards and everything, but all of this with it kind of not being, or at least I don't think it is as big of a launch as was expected, right? Like, I think people thought this was going to sell out. Surely Nintendo is always anticipated to sell out on the launch of a brand new console. So with people kind of avoiding and maybe not going into it right now, we might see a lot less copies of these launch titles printed. We might see a lot less launch consoles printed, and especially people keeping them factory sealed, brand new, and mint. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we'll start off with the console itself.
Well, first of all, the console itself apparently. Well, I was trying to scalp one of them, right? Like, so I got the Mario Kart World one, but I had the one with the sticker, not the one printed on the box.
Yes,
So
I
there are two
saw. I
variants that
saw.
way, right? So I got the one with the sticker. I'm like, all right, I don't want this. And also, if you get anything from Walmart or wherever else you get your stuff and you have it shipped to you, it's just never gonna be like it'll never be a VJ90. It's probably like 85 plus at best, right? There are always gonna be some scratches, maybe through shipping there may be some dents here and there. But anyway, you have those
Would
two prints.
would you have
Yeah,
kept
go
it
ahead.
if you had an actual printed on Mario Kart one? Would you have kept it?
No, because the condition wouldn't be nice enough. Like
Okay.
if you're getting something this okay, so might as well get into it. The only people who can grade it is VGA, right? It's gonna cost like 150 bucks, because of the sizing, and like you got to get at least like a VJ90 for it, right? And the only way to get it is if you get a master case. I don't know what's in the master case. I don't know if it's two consoles or four consoles. I don't know how it typically is for Switch, but you got to get like a master case. And the only way you get that is if you get it through a distributor or a store that your buddies with. And you're like, hey, I'll just buy four of these consoles and then like just grade them all. So
Yeah,
you're
well, a lot of
basically,
places won't even let you buy a case. Like, they just like won't sell you a four
yeah,
pack essentially. They always have to like
yeah,
break it
but
and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta have like a game store buddy or something. You're like, oh, let me just buy the whole case. And then so that's literally if it's four consoles, it's like 2,000 bucks right there. Plus grading fees is probably another like 500, 600, God knows how much. So you're coming in real hot, a lot of money on a console that's not even sold out everywhere. I don't know if it's a good thing to do or not.
Yeah, like you said, you have to get a 90. I agree 100%. Anything less than 90 is bad. Like 85 plus on this, bad. That's not good enough. The thing is, though, right? So the printed one in the sticker is by far the most interesting thing right now. And yes, I think we both agree the Mario Kart World bundle is. Is that more? We talk about people buying and stuff, right? The Mario Kart World bundle should be the one that people are purchasing. That should be the one that is printed more people have it. Should you go
Yeah.
standard? Should you do the worst bundle because
Okay.
it's stupid?
Remember the Heritage Signature where it was like the Halo 3 console and then the launch console? Which one sold for more?
The launch did.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think
The
most people
launch
thought
thing.
The Halo. Oh wow, that throws things. Yeah, okay. I mean, well, considering that Mario Kart World is also a launch like console, I probably would veer towards that. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you're
the,
right.
the
It's
launch.
surprising.
Yes.
It's
So
surprising.
I think there
Yep.
is merit there, but like for the Switch one, right? For sake of comparison here, let's say you get your 90. I was browsing eBay to find a Switch one launch, which is actually kind of hard to find. Just like a brand new graded Switch one console. They aren't
Yeah.
just chilling on eBay for what it's worth. But I was able to find Super Mario Party bundle, which is a super
Yeah.
early release. Super Mario Party, the game sucked, but it still got a really nice box. It had a really nice bundle. There was a brand new one at auction raw for 1,300 bucks. The Pokemon Switch
Raw,
Lights are doing
not
decent in
not
VG.
graded.
That was
Raw,
ungraded. That
not
was raw.
graded.
That was raw.
Really. And sold
Yep. Yep.
for 1,300.
Yep.
That's pretty good. What are you talking
Okay.
about? It's pretty good.
You say that. You say that's pretty good, right? It
Okay.
retailed for 399, 450 after tax for the Super Mario Party bundle, and we're talking 7 years after the fact. You, after fees, triple your money
Okay, let's say you even double your money. I mean that if you
on a
have
seven-year hold time.
I think you're greedy, man. Like people like Rudy from Alpha Investments are always like, if you get 8% per year, you compound that over 7 years, maybe it's like a double. Like you're just being greedy, honestly. If you can double your money in 7 years, that's pretty good.
Okay, so with
Yeah,
that said, then I
that's not
think you
bad.
could double your money on a Switch 2 in 7 years. I would say that is
You
very.
think so? No,
I do.
well here is only if Switch 2 is actually a good console, right? And so far with this launch, it seems like the reviews are not great. People are pissed off about the $80. Consoles aren't being sold out. There's only one first party launch title. Everything else is a retread. Like, I don't know. It's not looking too rosy so far.
The thing I would do, like the Super Mario Party bundle, right? The one I bring up, it's beautiful. Looks great. Great box design. Can we talk about how awful the Switch 2 box aesthetic is? How awful, plain vanilla. You got the Mario Kart World bundle you said there. It's just a sticker slapped on the box. It's like those
Yeah.
the late Super Nintendo boxes where they're like, oh, includes game pack. Like it is, even the printed one. It's like at the bottom of the box, there's a little bit of design of Mario Kart World. It sucks, dude. It is all sterile, underwhelming.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know why they did this. If you erase the big Switch 2 on the box, it is just a Nintendo Switch again. Like I know we just said, right? It's derivative. It's not that exciting and stuff, and it's not. And the Switch 2 launch console bundle box to display it sucks. I would wait for a special edition. If you have any interest in investing in the console itself, wait for a freaking special edition. Wait for Pokemon. Pokemon ZA comes out in what, later this year, I think? Wait for that. Maybe they'll do a bundle for it.
I mean, but the Mario Kart World is a bundle. It's Mario Kart, and it's a launch.
If the
So
box
maybe
was
you should get
beautiful,
that.
if the box was beautiful, I'd be in on it.
But it's a launch title. It's a launch console, right? Didn't the Xbox launch console sell for more than a beautiful Halo 3 box?
Yeah, it
Right?
did.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
maybe
always has that
the
going for it, though. It
the
always has
arcade
that
box
going
is
for
kind
it.
of cool. The launch
Yeah.
360 box. But
Okay.
when you were talking about the 3x, right? 7 year hold time, doubling your money is good. The games are presenting what, 10 to 20x on Switch 1 games right now? Breath of the Wild,
I mean, especially Breath of the Wild, the first print. It's
even
absolutely
Odyssey,
insane.
right? Though,
Yeah.
like first print Odyssey right now, raw copies, you can get like 100, $150, which isn't great. I get it. That is not.
No.
But even on a raw copy, that's double. But if you can get high grade first print Switch, I mean, you are in the money. So you mentioned it briefly there. Your Switch 2 launch titles are it's bad. It's really bad. It's a really bad lineup. I
Yeah.
think this is all contributing to why the Switch 2 launch maybe isn't as exciting as it should be here. But what do we got? We
Yeah.
got the Mario Kart World, Breath of
Yep.
the Wild again, Tears of the Kingdom again.
Yeah.
You can get like Rune Factory, Yakuza. Do you care about any of the third party games at all?
Don't get
Cyberpunk?
any. No, no, no. Don't get any. First of all, Cyberpunk is a PC
Cyberpunk! We
game.
can buy
It's a
Cyberpunk
PC
again.
game. It's a PC game. It's not a Switch game. It's like remaster of the remasters. It's like The Last of Us. They remastered it five
Yes.
times. It's like we don't want to play this game over again, right? So, um, The only game that would be worth it would be Mario Kart World. And also it's because number one, it's bundled. So speaking about like, Super Mario World for the SNES, a lot of people are not gonna buy the actual physical game because it's already in a console. And most people wanted the bundle console.
The
So
bundle's way better value. Way better value.
yeah. And it's probably not the worst idea to get a case
It's
back of it,
not.
even though it's not a great game so far. But I would imagine it's a game that Nintendo works on for. I mean, it's gotta last as long as Mario Kart 8, right? It has to.
Has to.
It's their
They
killer
won't. They
app.
won't release another one. They won't like
Yeah,
separate
they
the.
won't release another one.
Yeah.
This is the one for Switch 2. So if you believe that Nintendo will jam out more content and it will eventually be good, it's not the worst idea in the world to get a case back.
Do you worry now that because we've seen it happen with Switch One, we've seen the Breath of the Wilds, we've seen the Mario Odysseys, every of those first sprint titles, that case packs now are going to be hoarded to some degree?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think it will ever be as expensive as like Breath of the Wild first print. And even yeah, it just wouldn't get close. But I think like you said, you could probably double your money in 10 years. Maybe it's not good enough for most people, but I mean it's probably a pretty good bet for it because it's still Mario Kart. Unless if gaming is dead, like game collecting is dead, I don't see it going down in value. It's Mario.
No, I think Mario, even the retail value, I think of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever is still like 59 or 60. Like it doesn't, the games literally don't drop
Yeah.
in price regardless. So if you can
Yeah.
enter into them at retail pricing for mint condition copies, and again, we really have to stress that like when we're talking about getting case backs, it's because you need VGA 95,
Yeah.
VGA
Yeah.
100, WATA 10. Like
Yep.
I
Those type,
might
yeah.
buy myself.
You have to grade in order to get as much value as you can
Yes, you
from
have to.
this mass manufactured stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, should you go pick up a raw copy and set it on yours? No, you should not.
No.
You
Case
have to
back. Case
utilize
back
grading
only.
and you have to know what you're doing in order for this like to become anything, so to say.
Yeah.
But with that, if they start coming out, right? I'll buy a 9.88 plus plus. $100, $150 is all they should be. Once the thing is, we have to get through that initial. You see this all the time with everything, right? The hype wave
Yeah.
hits. The first tens that hit the market are gonna sell for five, six, seven, $800 maybe. Like it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
The first tens that hit, it will be. It's Mario Kart, and then they'll slowly, it'll work its way through. Mario Wonder, I think, is down already to like what $500 now for a 10 flagship Mario
Should be
title.
less. It should be less to be honest. But
Well,
hey,
that's crazy.
maybe people keep buying it. I
Well,
think there's enough
as we're
there.
talking about this, right? Like Mario Wonder, you can turn a profit with if you know what you're doing and getting the case pack. Which a little bit of math on the case pack. What do you get? 20 copies in one? I think it's
Yeah, I think
20.
it's 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 20 times what's your retail price there? 80? I'm in
80
Canada. It's
bucks.
like 140
Yeah.
bucks.
Yeah, it's 80 bucks. So it's 1600 right there. And then if you grade everything, let's say let's just say 50 bucks to grade everything. That's another what? Thousand
Another thousand on
bucks?
top.
Dang. It's like 2600 just to grade a case back. And how many tens do you think you could get from there? Maybe
I think
two?
yeah,
Like
you'd
on
have to hope
average,
for two
maybe
to
two?
five. You have to hope for 2 to 5.
Let's just say worst case scenario, you get two. So let's say you could sell it for 500,000 bucks, and then the rest you gotta grind up the last 1600. So yeah, I
Probably.
mean you could probably easily sell a 98 plus plus for 100 bucks after fees.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you're basically okay. You're basically break even if you only get two tens.
Yes. Well,
That's the
I was
worst
going to
case
say the
scenario.
only reason to do this, right now is if you're just like addicted to gambling, you want to do it, but like you
Yeah,
want to keep the 10 for yourself. You might be
yeah,
able to
that's
get
fair.
it for free, so to say, right?
Yeah,
You put out the $2,500, you resell everything, you keep 110 for yourself. You might be able to do it for free, but it's a lot of upfront cost and it's a lot of grinding there to make that happen.
you might as well just buy the 10 that comes up and just wait for like the 10th 10 to come up for it to be a normal price. Yeah,
I agree fully. Are you
yeah.
worried at all, right? We talk about first sprint breath, first sprint odyssey, first sprint. all of this Mario Kart World talk here, it's pretty much predicated that Nintendo will release revisional differences, revision box differences again, right? The zeros across the barcode, the satellite codes, updates and stuff. Do you have any
Yeah.
fear that they won't do that? Because like games like Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Wonder, they don't have revisions at all that are at least discernible on the actual casing. If Mario Kart World doesn't get those, is it screwed?
I would imagine they would keep selling Mario Kart World for the next 8 years, and if it doesn't get revisions, I do think it would be screwed because it will still be in stores 8 years from now. They're not gonna not sell it. They're just
Yep.
gonna keep selling it. So I don't know what the process is for Nintendo to be like, oh, we need another revision. Maybe like they printed a certain amount, and then once they do another print, then they do the revision. But or maybe Mario Wonder didn't sell well enough for them to do it. I don't know how
I know, I
it
know.
works,
It
but
feels like those games,
it's
like
really
it feels like
weird.
Animal Crossing
Yeah,
should have gotten some kind of like
Mario
there's a
Wonder for
cartridge
sure.
update. There has to be, right? There has to be.
Yeah, not
But the box
if there's
itself
no
did not
discernible
get one.
difference. Hmm, I don't know.
It'll
Well,
that is the one. Oh, go ahead.
and another thing to worry about for Switch 2 is download codes versus just the cart itself. If it's just a download code game, it might, I mean,
If
people
that's
would
all you
still
can
buy
get
it.
though, if that's all you
Yeah,
can
people
get,
would buy if people would buy it if it's all you can get because it represents whatever the cover art is.
like I've
But
debated buying Cuphead
otherwise,
on Xbox One or whatever it is. It's just like a download code inside, but it was the first retail packaging of Cuphead, right?
Cuphead, yep. Yep.
So
I think they would probably still buy
am
it.
I super excited about buying it? No. Like, yes, I do feel like a bit of an idiot, but if that's all there is, I
Yep.
think it would still follow the same trajectory, and you might even see it be more valuable because people don't buy it because it is such a disgusting like code in a box sucks, right? Don't get me wrong, and people
Yeah.
just might not buy it.
I mean, it's still a modern mass manufactured thing. At this point, I feel like people have caught on, you know. I'm sure there's supply. Just like people think Fortnite is like, oh, it's such a grail and stuff. Dude, people still have stuff. Like they have tons of Fortnite out there.
I'm
They
I'm
do.
still in on Fortnite. I think it will. Like I think it will, but
Okay.
what is there any like Switch 2, right? There's a little bit on the line up there. Metroid Prime 4. That'll probably be a game I actually do pick up. But Metroid Dread kind of sucks for collector value, so I don't even know if that's something that we should care about. Kirby Air Riders, like I think I won't even get a Switch here until we have the next Zelda announced. Um, that'll probably be where I actually finally enter in myself.
And do you think it's gonna be like a rehash of Tears and just a better Tears, or is it they're gonna are they gonna like reinvent the gameplay again?
I
Because
want
I
to see
think
it
that
reverse
matters.
personally.
Yeah, I
I
think it
want to see it
matters.
go backwards. Like I want a
I
linear
think
experience.
there's a reason why Tears is worth almost nothing compared to Breath, right? Because it's just Breath, but slightly better. And
The
some people even
expansion
liked it, some
pack.
people didn't. Yeah, it's basically expansion pack, and people are like, well, Breath was really innovative, but Tears is not, so they don't want to collect Tears.
Speaking of then, the derivative in it not being collectible, is Switch 2
Yep.
headed for a Wii U future far more than a Nintendo Switch future?
I believe so, but people would be like, "Oh, PlayStation 1, 2, 3." Okay, that's Sony, right? They've done that consistently from the beginning. But Nintendo didn't do that, right? They had GameCube, Wii, and then a Wii U, which bond like people are like, "What's Wii
Yup.
U?" And now it's Switch and Switch 2. So people will always be like, "Oh, it's just the Switch, but the second version." I
I,
do think the naming convention makes a big difference. Well, that and obviously it just looks like a Switch. It doesn't really look any different. It
I
probably just plays
know.
like a Switch too. Like it's just a better Switch. That's it. But it's just a Switch.
And if we start seeing the Switch 2 library, like how the Wii U, it's interesting because Switch was so insanely popular, right? Even the Wii U titles that were ported over don't really pull more collector demand, being the first prints on Wii U. Like Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Warriors. Like there's a bunch of Wii U titles that were ported. Mario Kart 8. It's not more valuable on Wii U. No one cares because the Switch
No one
is the
cares.
collectible console.
Yep.
I really
That's
think
it.
the naming convention being so derivative of itself is there's just you say Sony, right? Sony did it, Sony 1 to Sony 2. The graphical and the console actual improvement there, we went from jewel cases to the DVD design. Like it was almost impossible to conflate the two things as being the same, right? It was
And it looks
truly
different. And it
what?
looks different too.
Yeah,
The actual console
exactly.
looks different. Yeah.
Everything about it was completely different, completely changed. So that's why I think it's a big difference here, though. I already said with the box, right? Switch 2, you erase that. It's a freaking Switch. And it makes it hard when this is such an aesthetic hobby. This is such an emotional driven hobby for me to sit here and say, yes, Switch 2 is gonna be the most exciting thing ever. That's why I don't have a voice, Henry.
This is why you don't have a voice or playing so much Mario Kart World. Like, this could be better, guys. I'm angsty
Mario Kart
now.
World already isn't better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? People are already going to
Yeah.
compare the two games, and Deluxe is a bigger game, a better game, more fleshed out. And that's the fault because it had 8 years already. So now we have a come down. There's like this come down to the Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to be a tough road ahead, man.
Yeah. They need killer apps. Honestly, if Switch 2 can even get to half the collectability of Switch, they need those big games to come out. Nintendo's the only company with exclusive games that matter anymore, right?
Yep.
Because like all the Sony and especially Microsoft, everything's on PC, everything's on Steam. But not Nintendo. Nintendo's like going against the grain. They're not going with they're not swimming with the rest of the industry. But they gotta have the games out. There's nothing out. I feel like the Switch 2 release is just so half-assed. That's it, man. It's
I know.
half-assed.
I know. What
Yeah.
else do you say, right? What else do you say? And if we're going to see parallel releases still, because I assume Switch 1 is still going to be produced and like we might get parallel releases for the next year or two. I think the Switch ones will be the collectible titles if we do. I think
Yeah, for
anything
sure.
that parallel releases, get the Switch game.
Yep. I agree.
Last thing I do want to say is the actual aesthetics again, just talking about this hobby being so much about appearance. Switch 2 cases freaking suck, man. They're ugly. The big red banner at the top, it's like half the format of the art is like cut in half. It's like Switch is using full art and it's oh man, it there's not a lot to be excited about right now for Switch 2 in my opinion.
If only every game was like Celeste, you will actually be happy.
Yeah, I could actually
If
collect
only.
it. Will we get the Switch 2 port? Is Celeste coming to Switch 2?
Oh yeah, maybe you should buy it too. You should buy a 95 plus, at
We can only
least,
hope. We can only
at
hope.
least, at least.
Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think down below, you guys. Have you picked up a Switch 2 yet? Will you be speculating on Switch 2? What is the future of Switch 2 collecting going to be? I don't think there's any chance it can touch the Switch whatsoever, but very curious to hear more opinions on that. Hit the like button before you guys go. We'll see you guys in the next episode.